I'm sitting here, looking at these old pages in front of me, pages filled with lessons, reflections, and stories only time can teach. I've lived for over 75 years, long enough to carry regrets like heavy stones, long enough to collect memories like rare treasures, and long enough to realize I don't have much time left to share what really matters. If I had understood what I'm about to tell you earlier, life could have been different, simpler, fuller, more meaningful. But maybe that's just the way of life. Sometimes it takes a lifetime to understand the most important truths. These 10 minutes aren't just about me. They're about you. About the time you still have to avoid my mistakes, to see what I couldn't for so many years, and to live a life that deeply matters. I spent decades of my life chasing things I thought would make me complete. Societal expectations whispered in my ear. Success, validation, money, status. So I followed them blindly, thinking they'd lead me to happiness. There was a time when I worked long hours, missed family dinners, and said, "We'll spend time together next weekend." Too many times. I thought I was providing. I thought I was building something for my family. But you know what I built? Gaps. I built distance in our connection. And by the time I realized it, some of those gaps could no longer be bridged. The promotions I once celebrated gathering dust. The bank account balance that used to define my worth now feels meaningless. Why? Because none of those things loved me back. None of it brought me comfort when I needed it most. It took me far too long to understand. What I invested decades chasing could never fill me the way love, connection, and moments with the people who mattered could. Don't wait to make this realization. Don't wait to succeed in the wrong things while failing at what truly matters. Some of my greatest regrets aren't grand failures. They're the little, overlooked moments. I remember one Sunday afternoon when my kids asked me to play with them in the backyard. I said, "Not now. I have work to do." I don't even remember what the work was. It must not have been that important. But I'll never forget the way their little faces fell. That moment stayed with me, not because it hurt them forever, but because it made me realize how much I undervalued the simplest joys. The truth is, the magic of life isn't in the big events or milestones. It's in the small acts that go unnoticed. Sharing a laugh over coffee, taking a walk and feeling the sun on your face, holding someone's hand in silence. It's the kind of magic we're usually too busy to recognize until we look back and wish we savored more of it. Today, I'd give anything for one more ordinary Sunday with my family, playing in the backyard. Don't take those moments for granted. One day, they'll be the memories you miss most. When you live long enough, you learn that regret doesn't come from failure. It comes from not trying. It comes from letting fear stop you from loving deeply, speaking kindly, and dreaming boldly. I once held a grudge against a close friend. I can't even remember how it started, but for years, my pride kept me from picking up the phone and reaching out. When I finally decided to call, it was too late. That friend had passed. I carried the weight of that untold apology for years. It sat heavy in my heart, teaching me the hard way that forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for your own freedom. If there's someone you need to forgive, do it. Don't let time rob you of the chance because, in the end, the things we hold on to only hold us back. But there's another type of regret I've known. The regret of not living authentically. For too long, I cared too much about what others thought. About fitting in, being liked, meeting expectations. Only now do I see the years I wasted hiding parts of myself to make others comfortable. The fear of judgment kept me from being the person I wanted to be. Let me tell you this, the world will adapt, but the time you have to be you. That's limited. Don't betray yourself to fit someone else's mold. After 75 years, I've realized that the things that stand the test of time aren't material at all. It's not my bank account, the titles I collected, or the things I once thought proved my worth. It's relationships, people, moments. Over time, I began repairing important relationships. I reached out to family members I had drifted from and rekindled old friendships. I apologized for my blind spots, told people I loved them more often, and most importantly, I learned to just be present. It wasn't perfect, but it was enough. When I close my eyes and think of my life now, I don't see my old car or my job title. I see my wife's smile, my kids laughing at a joke around the dinner table, my grandchild falling asleep in my arms. These are the things that last. These are the things that matter. Don't wait until it's too late to start prioritizing the people in your life. Don't trade your time with them for things that won't matter in the end. You might be sitting there thinking, maybe it's already too late for me. I used to think so too. When I first began to realize how much time I'd wasted, I felt paralyzed by all my regrets. But then I made a choice, a small but powerful one. I decided to start, even if I was starting late. I began focusing on gratitude. I shifted from asking, "What am I missing?" to "What can I appreciate today?" Something magical happened. My perspective changed. The small joys became brighter. The quiet moments became louder. And I found myself feeling a sense of peace I hadn't known before. I also developed courage. I decided to stop letting fear dictate what I could and couldn't do. I took risks, not reckless ones, but the human kind. I told people the words I'd held back for years, acted on long-dormant dreams, and embraced the vulnerability of being myself. No matter where you are in life, it's never too late to start. Start small, but start now. What if right now you made a choice to live a little differently? Here are 3 small actions to begin. Invest in a relationship. Call someone you've drifted from. Say something kind. Forgive someone who's wronged you. Find joy in the present moment. Do one thing that truly makes you happy, whether it's sitting in the sun, writing in a journal, or having a meaningful conversation. Let go of a regret. Whatever is holding you back, grudges, guilt, fear, release its grip on you. If you can do just one of these today, you're moving toward a life that aligns with what really matters. The hardest and most humbling truth I've learned in my 75 years is that time is our greatest teacher and also our most limited resource. It's not infinite, and the knowledge of that is both heartbreaking and clarifying. We all think we have more time until we don't. That's why the best gift you can give yourself and those you love is to stop waiting for the perfect time or the right moment. There's never a perfect time. There's only now. Every sunrise is a second chance. Every day you wake up is an opportunity to let go of what doesn't matter and embrace what does. If I could go back, I would live differently. But since I can't, my hope is that my words can make a difference in your life. I hope you'll listen and choose to live more purposefully, to treasure people over possessions, moments over milestones, and love over fear. Life isn't about how many years you live. It's about how much life you put into your years. So, here's my plea to you. Don't wait until you're 75 to understand this. Don't waste time chasing what won't matter in the end. Instead, start today. And as you start, remember, you don't have to be perfect. Just take one step forward, no matter how small. Life waits for no one, but it rewards those who choose to show up. Imagine waking up tomorrow knowing you've begun building a life filled with purpose and connection. Imagine looking back years from now, knowing you lived fully, loved deeply, and embraced the beauty of small moments. This is your chance to rewrite the story of your life. It's not too late. It's never too late. Go live a life that truly matters. Fade out on a sunrise scene, accompanied by the words, "Make today count."